Pokemon. Hello, everybody. Tyrone TG3 here. Pokemonster at iZones. Episode 54. This episode is titled The Eternal Blessing. This episode, man, so much lore in this episode. I'm gonna be honest, like, out of all the episodes we've had, this one's very lore heavy. I don't know, just extremely lore heavy, really. So this episode more or less focuses on Freed and Captain Pikachu this time around. Which, okay, that's fine. We haven't seen them in a while. I'm glad they're not abusing their development as characters. I'm glad they're not having them show up in every episode. That's pretty good. And we also get to see, like, progress with the Brave Asagi. We get to see that the Brave Asagi is getting work done. It's halfway done. And Orla also wants to give it some updates, which I think is pretty cool, too. Freed is about to go to his old job, which is called, I think it's called Exceed. And it's where he was a Pokemon, like, scientist at the time, a researcher scientist. And he ends up having this meeting with one of the managers, one of the bosses. And I like this. I don't know, for some reason, they come together and talk about it's called, I can't remember what it's called, but it's called it's called the Eternal Blessing, obviously, like the episode. It gets renamed to the Rekuma later. But while this is happening, we see that Anne catches up with Liko, Dot, and Roy after they're headed back to the academy. And Liko, Dot, and Roy end up having camp with Anne. Like, they all get together and have lunch. And it's cool. I like it. I like that Anne is interacting with the others. And she states her goal is to beat the Pokemon League, which I really like that as well, too. Weirdly, I'm more invested in Anne than I am in the other three right now. But that's just because, I've missed the old Pokemon League situation because we haven't had it in a while, a traditional Pokemon League challenge. But it is cool, and it's cool to see that the Pokemon are getting along. Sandshrew and Duat are having lunch with Kilowattrel, Floragato, Fuecoco, Tinkaton, and Quaxley. And I love that Tinkaton goes after Duat's Scalchop shells, even though it's not made of iron, but it is a tool. So Tinkaton wants it. I love that joke too. When we come back to the meat of the plot, we see that the manager of Xyz ends up giving Freed his ID card that he had when he used to work there so that he could go downstairs and get some research. No, and so he can go to the lab, actually, so that he can get more research on the Eternal Blessing. When he goes there, he ends up meeting a fellow co-worker who tries to pull up some data, but unfortunately it looks like the data is getting blocked. Someone's going out of their way to block the data. So Freed goes down to the basement area in order to get the Eternal Blessing himself and start doing research on it. Well, when he gets down there, he sees that there's bodyguard Pokemon, and he also breaks through security. I like this, because this is one of the few situations where Freed and Pikachu kind of fail. They leave, they are able to escape successfully, but they kind of mess up. Normally, they're pretty good at infiltration. Here, it's not really a matter of skill. Someone just beat them to it, so Freed had to deal with the unexpected. He already got the information blocked via the internet. The servers are down, so that didn't work. And then the next time we try to see him do something, turns out this guard Pokemon and the guards see him breaking into a place. He gets caught because he got caught by the camera. When he tries to go in, he ends up getting blocked off by the guards, only to find out that the Eternal Blessing, or the Rekuma, has been taken away. So now he has to, fight through all of the security, and him and Pikachu just barely managed to escape. And we learn that Spinel is the one that ended up taking the Eternal Blessing jewel. So he brings it to Gibeon. So, yeah, a lot of plot-heavy stuff happens within the course of all of those events. And it also does make Freed look like kind of a bad guy because he ended up fighting off guards and breaking in secure areas. But he gets away. It's just one of the weird situations where the villain ends up winning. But it's Spinel. And Spinel's one of the few people that can do that. So I like it. It's pretty cool. We cut back to Liko, Roy, Dot, and Anne, and they make it to Naranja Academy. And while that's happening, we see that Amathio's back in the picture talking with Master Gibeon. And we learned that that's his grandfather. So we learned the person behind the explorers is Amattheo's grandfather. And honestly, I think that's cool. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that level of I like that level of discovery. So it's cool to see all of that go down. And when he's talking with Gibeon, we learn that Amatheo is like the heir, so he's supposed to take his spot. And I love that Amatheo is ready to like pursue them at all costs, and he knows like, hey, the best way we're gonna do this now is to catch Terapagos and make sure it reaches full power, and then I'll go and strike it when that happens. So he diverts from Rayquaza for a little bit. But yeah, we see his resolve, and that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, a lot of lore. I'm honestly gonna give this episode a 9. Yeah, a lot of lore. I like that Freed and Captain Pikachu are doing some behind the scenes stuff. We get to see that the Brave Asaragi is getting some like upgrades to it. It's halfway done being repaired. We get to like we're really digging into that next arc before we finish this one. And I'm glad. It's a good transitional piece episode that gives us a lot of background development, not just for Freed and his like life before he ended up joining the Voltacklers, but we also get like some background on Gibeon, Amatheo. We also get some decent development for Liko and the others in terms of what their goals are as well. So yeah, like it. Really like it. Great just way to develop everybody's characters. Great way to build up on something, and it's a really good way to really just expand the world that Pokemon Horizons has given us. It's made it a lot less two-dimensional, and I gotta thank it for that. And it definitely gets you involved into this explorer's plot. Like, what is Gibeon cooking? What is going on? What is his plan? Why does he have Spinel take the Eternal Blessing and do everything that he does one step ahead of Freed, while at the same time he's putting all his chips on Amatheo? So we really got the chance to see the characters threading out the webs of the plot, and honestly I like it. I think it's really good. I'm very much enjoying the plot stickers that they have showing up for the future. So that is episode 454. Episode 55 and 56 will be reviewed next. Those episodes will be titled Showdown, the Paldean Elite Four. And episode 56 is Liko versus her name's Rika in the American version. Yeah, Rika here at your service. Liko versus Rika at the end of the battle. So looking forward to those. Gonna be a fun time because those are some really good battles. I will see y'all then, everybody. Tyrone TG3.